Welcome to the Saywhat Radio Show. I am your host, Los DePrez. You already know, man, September 28th, 2018 is what I do each and every Friday night beginning at 9 p.m. I got a very, very special guest on the phone, man. She called in, very busy woman. She called in to do a quick interview. The lovely Mina Saywhat. Mina, what up?
What's up, Los? How are you?
Nothing, man. Just trying to do me over here. It's good with you.
I see you. Okay. Let me find out.
I'm trying. What's going on with you, though?
Time Friday night slot.
That's what I do, man. Each and every Friday night, I try to give these people some music. You heard?
I see. You like that Lil Wayne?
That one's crazy.
That album is fire.
It is. Anything Swiss Beats touch, you already know. It's going to be fire. So that one.
Yeah, but I was a little worried about this album.
Was you?
Because I'm like, 4 years, we've been waiting for it, 4 or 5 years. What is it going to sound like?
And music changed.
And I thought I was going to sound a little dated, but it doesn't sound dated at all. He updated a lot of it. He put, a lot of the newer guys on there, which I like. So the album is fire.
Yeah, that's dope. Let's get right into it. The first thing I want to ask you is, where did we get the name Mina Saywhat?
If you're a real hip-hop head, you would know this.
Okay.
Not that you're not, but there's a De La Soul song called Buddy.
Of course.
And the song it starts, Mina, 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 say what? Mina, 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 say what?
Okay.
So that's where I got my name from. Yep.
That's dope. So you originally from Jersey? Go ahead.
When I was coming up and I was a kid,
okay,
everybody, like the older heads, used to sing that when they said my name. And I didn't get it until I got a little older. And I'm like, oh, it's a song. Okay.
You thought you was getting bullied.
I know. I just didn't know, like, why y'all saying that? Like, what is that from?
That's a classic record. That's a super classic
record.
So the name makes sense. That's dope. That's history right there. You originally from Jersey City, right?
Right. Union City, Jersey City. I'm actually in Union City right now.
I know you went to school in New York. You did your whole college thing over there. But growing up as a kid, I know you big hip-hop fan, but growing up as a kid in Jersey City, what did you originally want to do?
It's crazy. I thought I wanted to do something in sports because I played sports.
Right.
Or I thought I wanted to...
What'd you play?
I played basketball, volleyball, and softball.
Okay. We got an athlete. Okay.
Yeah, a little light.
Okay.
And I thought it was either going to be like sports management,
right,
or like criminal justice, because I had a lot of friends that had a lot of legal issues.
Right.
And I used to be like,
Jersey City.
Minute. Right. I'm like, wait a minute. You went to jail for how long? For what?
Right.
So I always thought, even as a kid, like that. Like, okay, why are people being locked up or detained? Or, I always noticed that, especially being in the neighborhood that I was in, a lot of people had, trouble with the law. So, I always noticed it. So I thought I was going to be like a criminal lawyer or something.
Okay.
To like help my friends out and stuff. But that didn't happen.
Right. Yo, you got to go to school for like 10 years, man, for that one.
I mean, I wasn't intimidated by that at all because I kind of like school. I like learning.
Right.
I never forget my first. So most people that get like law degrees, for the first 4 years, like you got to go to law school after you go to undergrad.
Right.
But a lot of them have like political science majors.
Right.
And I'll never forget like my very first political science class. I went to Syracuse University, and that's upstate New York. People think New York is like like. The boroughs. No, I was upstate.
Shout out to the Q's.
It's different.
Right.
It's different up there. It's not the same. It snows all the time.
All the time. It's like Canada.
Different. Right. It's super different. So, but yeah, I remember my very first political science class, and I was like, nah, this is not for me.
Right.
I just didn't see myself like fighting people that didn't understand what it was like to be poor, or didn't understand what it was like to need public programs. I never forget my very first political science class. We were fighting about why Medicaid's important and Medicare. And it's like if you didn't grow up knowing somebody that benefited from those things,
they don't understand how important that is.
Important, right? So here I am fighting these people that are like, oh, but people that use the system, they need this, and we got to cut it out because everybody on this is. And I'm like, bruh, I mean, there's some people that are on it that are taking advantage of it and that don't need it, but a lot of the people that are on it need it. So instead of trying to cut the program, why don't you just find out ways how you can eliminate people taking advantage of the program that shouldn't be.
Right.
Like people, but I never forget. I was like, I can't fight these people for the rest of my life. That's not the kind of life I'm trying to have. Some of these people that are making the choices and the laws, and they will never understand what it's like to be poor.
Those are facts.
So I got out of that super fast.
So tell me what inspired you to do radio and TV?
It was really Syracuse, to be honest with you. Like, I always loved music. When I was like a little girl, I used to listen to classic songs and, memorize lyrics and stuff.
Right.
So I always had the music in me. So when I got to college, naturally my best friend was a DJ.
Okay.
And I used to tell him like, oh, you should play this or you should play that. And, I had like a different swag because I came from a city. And my friend, he was like from the suburbs, so he really didn't have like I'm saying, he really didn't have like an ear for music I did. So I would help him on that front. He was an amazing DJ, but I would help him with like what records to play. So he was already plugged in with like the whole radio scene. So one day he like brought me into like the school radio station, and it was kind of like one of those things where they're like, once you get in there, you never leave. That's exactly what happened.
Right. You fell in love with the radio.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I thought I was going to come in as a political science major, and I ended up graduating with a political science degree. Obviously I'm not using it.
Congratulations. But congratulations. That's that's a big accomplishment.
Thank you. But I picked up like a dual. So I also graduated with a television and radio degree as well.
Right.
So it's funny when I told my mom, I remember telling my mom, like, Mom, I'm thinking about switching my major, like, this is after the first semester. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do political science. I think I want to do more like radio, like television and radio. And she was like very supportive. She was like, do it. And it's crazy because she told me she used to be on the radio when she was in college.
Wow. So that was already in your blood then.
Right. I was like, shut up. And this is like, she never told me this ever in her life.
Right.
So I'm like, so if I would have never decided to go into radio, I would have never known that about you. Like, you wouldn't have said nothing about that.
So you're trying to hide that part.
So, right. So, that kind of was like the sign, like, okay, it's go time. Like, my mom's supportive. She used to do it. Obviously she didn't get to do it professionally, so maybe that's like why I'm here. Like, I'm supposed to do it professionally.
Right. So, moving forward, man, I know you done did big interviews with big artists. Who was, out of all the interviews you ever done, tell me who was the interview that you was most proud of and it made such an impact on you, like I made it as a radio personality?
Nas.
Right. Classic.
I grew up listening to Nas.
Right.
And it's crazy. I don't really get nervous doing interviews. Not even when I started, I really never got nervous. But I was so nervous. Like, I was so nervous I looked like a mess.
Really?
I looked like a mess. Like, I kept changing my hair, and I didn't like how my hair was, and then I kept changing my outfit. I couldn't find anything that I liked. Like, I was just a mess. But so when we started the interview, everything went away.
Of course.
But like leading up to it, I was a mess. And then I even bought in like all my CDs because I have all his CDs.
Right.
And I like showed him it, and he was like, "Yo, you are a real fan." I'm like, "I know." And then I'm like, "My bad, I bootlegged some of them. I still had the bootlegs in there." So I was like, "Nah,
no,
my bad, some of them are bootlegs."
You did not show up with the bootlegs.
We was going through some things during that time in my life, so I couldn't really pay the $19.99 that the CDs used to cost.
Right.
Like, I ain't really had the $20, so I bootlegged it. I bought the $5 joint. But he laughed at it, and he thought it was funny. He signed my CDs, and it was like, It's crazy because when you interview somebody that you looked up to your whole life, you try to do your best. And I think the full circle moment for me when, like, I literally have on tape that Nas is saying, like, this is different. Like, you're different. He was like, I could tell there's a lot of feeling and emotion in this interview. And he was like, and I could tell that you really care about what you're doing. He was like, you're different. Like, for Nas to tell me I'm different, bruh.
That's big.
Like, this guy's been around like everybody.
He's a legend. Mama. He's a legend.
Right.
So,
that was really like a big moment for me.
Passion for anything, man. It's something you just can't teach. You either can have it or you don't.
Right.
Every morning.
And I was passionate about him and his music, and, so I think he picked up on that. And, like, it even helped me in the interview. Like, that was a big interview for me because he opened up. This is the first time he opened up about Khalees.
Right.
And this is after he dropped the album where he actually put, like, remember Khalees got married in this green dress?
Yes.
He put that green dress on the album cover.
I remember that.
He really opened up. Yeah, he opened up to me about marrying Khalees and why he decided to put the green dress on the cover and, what it was like. Like, he had never talked about any of that. So I just felt like, like it was like a real, like, oh, thank you to the radio gods.
Right. No,
for
Nas.
This to happen for me.
Right. Nas was always, he still is a very, very private person. And it takes like a passionate professional interviewer to get, the personal things out. So you definitely must have did a great job. You know what I mean? Shout out to you on that.
Thank you.
Every morning, I know you broke all the Philly hearts because every morning everybody woke up, turned their radios on going to work, listening to Mina Saywhat, all your news, and then you didn't even really announce it. You know what I mean? You just went away, and you stuck.
I ghosted on y'all.
Right? You just bounced. You know what I mean? And everybody was listening to the radio, like, where'd she go? But I know you went.
Right.
I know you went and moved on to television as well. Tell me about that. Tell me the transition from, because you could come to the radio station and look like a hot mess. All you got to do is have a good voice. You know what I mean? But right? You come in your slippers, you come in your Rolos, but when you're doing the TV thing, tell me how that transition, how was that for you?
I think the transition was like a natural one, but I still struggle with that part of it, the fact that you have to look together.
Right.
I'm like naturally a tomboy.
It takes you 3 hours to get ready?
No, it takes me like 3 seconds to get ready.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like naturally a tomboy, but because I'm on TV now, I have to be more mindful of certain things.
Right.
So, it's definitely a transition because I've never really been like a super girly girl. Like, there's girls that like know how to do like 20 things with their hair. I know like a good 5. I got 5.
Is he your former basketball player?
Hairstyles.
Of course.
That's it, right. I got my 35. My 35 hairstyles.
That's
and
hilarious.
I've never been like that. Like, I've always been like, I always loved lip gloss since I was like a kid, but I always was like the girl that like put my hair back in a ponytail and wore lip gloss and walked around in a white T-shirt and, sweatpants and Jordans or something, So, like, I think that's been very hard. And it's probably been one of the main reasons why I haven't transitioned to TV a lot earlier, just because I'm not naturally that person. But, I'm getting older and, like, you start to become more obsessed with your looks or whatever when you start getting a little bit older. So
we ain't going to be 18 forever.
Right, exactly. So there's things that I've had to adjust, like I have to go and do my hair every week, which I never had to do that before. And, I got like eyelash extensions, so it always looks like I got lashes on. So there's been like small little tweaks that I've had to do to make sure that I look camera ready and that will help me.
Right.
Because I don't know how to put on a pair of lashes. I don't even know, like, I would glue my eyes shut. Like, you don't even want me to do that. I'm not girly at all. I don't even know how to do my own nails. Like, I got to go and someone got to do them for me. So, which is crazy because when I was growing up, my mother always did her own nails. Like, I would watch her do her own nails. I just didn't get that gene.
Right.
Like, it just didn't rub off on me. Like, when I was a kid, my mom would literally say, like, put a dress on. And I'd be like, I don't want to put a dress on. I want to wear sneakers.
You weren't trying to do the ballerina thing.
Right. Yo, it's crazy you say that because she always tried to make me be a ballerina. Like, she wanted me to take, like, ballerina classes, and I took them for a little bit, but naturally I just didn't like it. You know, I was like, Mommy, I want to go, play basketball. So, like, it's been an adjustment, but I think I've gotten a lot better at it. I mean, you can even go on my Instagram, at Mina, Saywhat, and you can literally scroll, like, a year back, or, like, maybe a year and a half back and just see, like, the change.
Right.
In, like,
I see it. I see it.
So you have to do it because, TV is different, and in order for you to, like, elevate in anything, there's certain things that you have to become adjusted to, and, you have to kind of change up things. So, it's just been part of the change and just transitioning and, like, leveling up,
So do you enjoy TV better than the radio, honestly?
Nah, I don't. I just think in today's world, I just think, like, it's important for you to have the TV part if you're doing radio.
Right.
You look at some of, like, or not even just TV, but something else besides radio.
Right.
It's
good to have multiple talents.
Right. So for me, it's TV because I'm, like, natural. Like, I feel natural on the TV. It's not, like, hard for me.
Okay.
But... I had to level up in some way. Like, I started to feel like when I was doing the radio, like, this is it? What's after this?
Right.
And I think because I got that job so young, I was like 25 when I got that job. So it's like, I was very blessed, and I always thank God for putting me in that position. But at the end of the day, I was young, and I have a lot more to give and I have a lot more to grow. So I'm, like, very fortunate that I got to a really high, good place. It's really hard for people who don't know radio. Like, people don't do morning shows in a top 10 market.
No, they don't.
The top 10 markets are the top markets of the country.
Right.
It's New York, LA, Chicago, DC, Miami, Philly. So it's like people spend their whole lives trying to get to that point. That's like the pinnacle. That's the top of some people's career. I got there pretty young. So I was very fortunate and blessed. But then the downside of that was, 5 years in, I started to feel like, okay, what happens now?
Right.
Do I do this for the rest of my life? I was like, hell no.
You needed something different.
It's not even do something different. It's just have growth in some way.
Right.
So when you're on a morning show, you're not so much growing. Like, you just kind of doing the show every day. You're like, when you get to that point in your life, you're not growing anymore. You're kind of there.
Right.
You should be at, like, the top of your game. I mean, mornings is not a place where you learn. So, it kind of got to a point where I'm like, okay, what happens now? What's next? And for a long time, I didn't know what that answer was because I liked my job, but I just wasn't feeling like I was growing.
The people in Philly, the people in Delaware, the people in Jersey, they loved you. So you broke their hearts leaving them in the mornings.
I know, but
and I know you hear that
on Instagram.
I know you hear that all the time. I know you get messages about it.
You know what's crazy? That really surprised me. Like, I didn't think anybody would care, to be honest. Like, I was just doing what I was doing for, like, my growth in my career and for me to feel like, like I'm fulfilling my purpose on earth.
Right.
But I really didn't foresee, like, the reaction that people were going to have to me leaving.
That's what's weird about radio. You just don't know who you're going to impact.
You don't, and you don't know that you're doing it. And like, it's crazy because I get messages every day still, and it's been 9 months?
Yeah, it's been a while.
9 months.
It's been a minute.
9 months, and people still message me, and I'm like, y'all ain't forget about me?
Nah.
I would have forgot about me like 8.5 months ago.
Talk to me.
Why are y'all still thinking about me?
Right. Nah, man,
So
you made a lot of impact.
Every day is crazy to me, like every day. That's why, like, on my Instagram now, I just be like, people are like, you always so happy, and I'm like, why wouldn't I be happy? I'm always like, I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful. That's like my theme this year, like 2018, thankful and just being grateful, because I didn't realize, like, I was walking away from a big opportunity,
right,
and a big job,
right,
but I gained so much more on the back end. Like, I actually realized that people really love me.
Right.
And that's crazy. Like how people could love you and they don't know you.
They don't know you. But that's just like being a fan of music. Like you love Nas, but you didn't know him until you got to interview him.
I know, but I'm not Nas. I'm Mina Saywhat. Like, what are you talking about? That's no comparison.
Right.
I'm like a F-lister here.
Talk to me about the Philadelphia parade, man. Are you doing it? Are you gonna be a part of it? Are you emceeing it? I know you ain't leaving that.
The Puerto Rican Day Parade in Philly. It happens on the Parkway. So anybody out there listening, come down. It's this Sunday actually, on the 30th, September 30th. We're gonna start the parade at like 11:30ish. So get down there. But yeah, I mean, this is, I think, 2015. I started emceeing the stage, the parade.
Right.
So 15, 16, 17. This is my fourth year.
This is your fourth year.
Fourth year emceeing the parade. So the parade airs on 6 ABC. So in Philly, obviously. So yeah, it's my fourth year hosting the parade. You know, I have a big job. I direct the flow of the parade.
Right,
you know,
you do.
how fast we go, how slow we go. So, you know, I introduce the people that are in the parade. So, I mean, it's been a long time. I can't even believe it's been 4 years, but I really love doing that parade, you know, and
quick.
I really...
You're a natural, man. Listen, you're a natural. You're very talented. You got the voice.
Thank you.
It was an honor for me to meet you. You know what I mean? Because of course I was a fan. You didn't know I was a fan of yours first, listening to you every morning. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Being able to do business with you and interact with you and meet you, that was dope. Now, if there's any young lady out there that wants to get involved with radio, with TV, what advice would you have for them?
What advice? God. We could be here for an hour.
Let's try to make a couple of minutes, though.
Yeah, wrap it up. You're in radio. You should know. I would say, I think the thing that really helps me is that I love what I do, and then I'm passionate about what I do. And I would say, it's not even just radio. Whatever you're doing with your life, make sure that you love what you do and that you're passionate about it. Because if you don't, your work is not going to be your best work.
Right.
You know, I'm good at what I do because I love what I do. I'm not in it for the wrong reasons. I don't care if people know my name or if people like me. My job is to entertain people, to inform people, and to be a voice for the community. That's my job.
Right.
You know? So I take that very serious. Like, I'm in the community. I do a lot of research. I study. I practice. I prepare. You know, I love what I do, so I take it serious. So I say, first and foremost, make sure that you're passionate about it and you're not in it for the wrong reasons. Because if you are, you're not gonna put 1,000%. Like, right. A lot of the times when you're starting radio or you're starting anything, there's not a payoff. You don't get paid. You're not making a lot of money sometimes. Right. Maybe you're making minimum wage. I don't know what it is. But you have to be passionate enough to survive that phase, because eventually if you're in anything long enough and you do good work, you will move up, you know, and then your time and your compensation will get better, you know. But if you're not putting in the passion and doing everything to the best that you can, nothing's going to work out. Right. You're not going to get to the next level. So I would say, you know, don't always think about the money. Think about the craft in whatever that you're doing and elevating and getting better. Work hard, you know, do the things that nobody else is willing to do. And, you know, just keep your integrity. You know, a lot of times people do business kind of schemy, right, you know, or kind of like, you know, people are shady. Right. You know, there's a lot of shady people. You know, I'm the kind of person that I'm very upfront. I'm very honest. I don't F people over, you know, and I keep it real with people, and I treat people how I would want to be treated, you know. So I would say that, like, you know, just have a lot of integrity and honesty and passion and work hard and, you know, just be persistent, because it might not happen right now, but if you work hard at anything, it eventually will pay off.
Facts. Now, where does Mina Saywhat see herself in 5 years? Like, what do you want to accomplish in the next 5 years?
All right, God. I want to continue to do radio. I just want my own show. I actually want to do afternoons. So I want to do afternoons in either Philly or New York.
Okay.
Those
You
are
want
my
that?
goals.
You want that?
I mean,
you want that drive time?
Right.
Right.
Mornings is cool, but mornings is hard, man.
Yeah, you gotta wake up dumb early.
Yeah, man. I had that job when I was like in my 20s. I got it when I was 25, and I was there for 6 years. So, and then I just left in December. So I'm kind of like, anytime anybody says morning anything, I'm like, not me.
Right.
Because I was so disciplined. I sacrificed so much of my late 20s for this job that I didn't really get to live my life.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not doing that. I want an afternoon show, and sometimes things will change. You have to be flexible. You're not always going to get what you want. But if I have it my way, I want an afternoon show, and I want it to be my show. I don't want to be part of a bigger show with other people, and I want to do TV as well.
Right.
And I actually want to start working in the sports world, like doing like announcing and like entertainment stuff in the sports world.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
That's what I see in 5 years.
I will see you on Sunday. I'm going to be there at the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Philly, Benjamin Franklin Parkway, right?
Right. Come through. Bring the flag. Even if you're not Puerto Rican, come through. Everybody's welcome.
Right. Now, I know you got Instagram, you got Twitter, you got Facebook. If there's anybody out there that want to book you to host or, want to get in contact with you, you want to shout all that out real quick?
Yeah. It is MinaSaywhat.com, MINASAYWHAT. Same thing on all my social platforms at Mina Say What. You guys can listen to me on SiriusXM. If anybody has SiriusXM out there, I'm on the Heat. And if you're in the Philly area on weekends, you can listen to me on Boom 103.9. So we moving out here, baby.
That's right. I hear you. Listen, man, I appreciate you taking the time to call me, do this interview. I wish you good luck on all your future endeavors. You're a very talented woman. You're independent, and I know you're going to be good in whatever you do.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you, Los. I appreciate your time, and thank you for having me on your show.
No doubt, Mina.
All right, I'll see you on Sunday. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.
One.